Five, four, three, two, one, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ACG, where we're just a couple gamers. It's your boy Smooth.
It's your boy Doc.
And we are back with another episode. Guys, this is another Godfather episode, but let me tell you something. Episode 113 is about to blow your damn minds. I really can't make this any more. I don't even know how to say it. I can't make this more of a big deal. Tonight's episode is not only going to be exploring all of the things that have been happening to the ACG squad over the last, I don't know, month or so, but we're going to kind of dive deep into who did what was said, who was harassed, who was bullied, who was doing the bullying, all that stuff, guys. It's all coming out tonight. And I don't know if you meant to be on camera or not, but yours is off.
Oh yeah, no, not right now. I will be though.
No worries. Just making sure.
In due time.
We've got Zena in the house. What's up, Zena? Okay, so we are gonna skip our usual events tonight, guys, because there's just so much to talk about, and I want to make sure, like, literally there's so much to talk about that this is going to be a 3-part series here, because there's just too many people involved. Too many people were hurt and scorned by everything that was going on. So let's just go ahead and start at the very beginning here.
Well, let me say hi first. Let me say hi to everybody first. Yeah. Hey, trust me, I know how excited you are. I know how jubilee you got. You know what I mean? You got that happiness in you. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, there's always 3 sides to a story, okay? Everybody has a clear view of what happened on the other side. Now it's time to talk about our side. And, you know, it's going to be some things said, nothing negative, but I think it's just more of our view and our opinion, you know what I mean? So, also, it's going to be a good one. 3-part, that's a good thing right there. That tells you there's a lot of content there, right? So, sit back, relax, you know what I mean? If Brother Smooth puts on some jazz music, that'd be dope. If not, that's even better, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, y'all, I'm telling y'all, it's going to be a good one. Now, here's the thing. Whoever comes in here and want to talk and want to ask some questions, like Smooth said yesterday, please write it down. Somebody will catch it, and we'll definitely answer that question on air for you, okay? Other than that, I hope you guys' Saturday is blessed. I hope it's fantastico, if that's a word, and awesome-fied. And, yeah, just sit back, relax, and let's enjoy the show.
Thank you very much, my friend. So again, let's start all the way back at the beginning, okay? The people who are trying to get us banned, let's just go ahead and throw the names out there right now. There's 2 people that are the most important people in this entire debacle, okay? Number 1 is your Godfather official moderator, Frigg. Okay? She is the most narcissistic, just snake in the grass, just... And here's the thing. We did nothing at all except work our ass off to get to where we are in the Godfather realm, in the YouTube social media realm, and just in life, okay? And it was nothing but our success that made Frigg as spiteful and as nasty as she has been for the last month or so, okay? The other person is Shiva. Now, originally, I brought Frigg and Shiva into the fold. I gave them a platform, a voice, when I did not have to. I had nothing but genuine love, respect, and just friendship for these people. Along the way, things started to get a little toxic within the group because, according to Frigg, we weren't organized enough with our content. Now let's just go into a little bit more elaboration on this, okay? There's 112 episodes minus this one on my channel, specifically Godfather. Out of those 112 episodes, she participated in 5% of those. She gave me ideas as far as topics go for 5% of those, and she showed up for 5% of those. The rest of the time that she was an quote-unquote ACG member of the team, she did nothing but complain, talk behind my back about all of the things that I was doing wrong, how I could be doing them better, this and that. And it started to get up under my skin. At first, I was like, okay, maybe she just wants what's best. I'll do what she says. So the first thing she says is, you guys, there's too much drama. The older players, they don't want the drama. Could you tone it down? So we toned it down. The other thing was, oh, well, you're not organized enough. We need to have ideas and stuff ahead of time. So I start to get more organized. Then it's always something. There was always something that, again, even though she's only 5% there for any of it, 95% of it bothered her. So that's where it all started. Then Shiva and her end up in the same family, which, first of all, I don't ever remember inviting Frigg to the server. She just shows up. Okay, so she shows up, and now she's buddy with Shiva. Now, Shiva and her, again, are at this time part of the ACG team. But we're in opposite families. So Doc and I and Rex are in one family. Shiva and Frigg and the rest of them are in another family. Yeah, Shiva shows up randomly also. And so you've got all of these things going on behind the scenes, and then now you add in gameplay. Within a few weeks of us being not in the same family but in the same server, the toxicity level just starts rising. I mean, you could feel it in the air. Some family events start happening. They start making moves behind the scenes to spite us. And then things start to force rules onto people and all this other stuff in the server. And so it got to the point where things were just not feeling like a team anymore. And I don't even really remember the last straw. But before we get into all the specifics, to your recollection, Doc, at this point in time, while Shiva is still part of the team and Frigg is still part of the team, and things are kind of getting a little funky in the server, but where was your head at? What were you seeing? What were some telltale signs that we were no longer a team?
It was just a few things. Like, number one, just randomly burning and attacking people just to make a rule. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be honest, I ain't never been on a server where somebody's done that before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna hit this family center. Oops, my bad. And then the reason behind it is off of a conversation or something. Like, my thing is like, okay, you got upset off of what was said. You know what I mean? But what was said before that? And still to this day, there's been no clarification. And I'm gonna leave that right there for right now until questions come. But there hasn't been no clarification. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, there's more complaining than resolution. All right? And I'm gonna just keep it 100. Okay? To this day, like, I sit back and think about it, and I'm not gonna lie, dog. Like, to be honest, like, I spaced out. I was done. You know what I mean? Like, and when I say spaced out, I meant like crazed thinking, like, what is going on? Because it was like night and day. You know what I mean? And it was crazy though, because one minute we're all having fun, like we're at the happiest place on earth. You know what I mean? And then the next minute, like, it goes south. Well, and then it felt like there was no common ground. It felt like we had to see their grounds versus meeting on a mutual standpoint, if that makes sense.
Right.
So that's right.
Well,
That's raw, man.
before we go any further, I do want to say a couple things. Number one, anybody who wants to dispute anything that's said here in this episode or the next 2 episodes, because this is going to be a 3-part episode. Again, there's too much detail, too much stuff that happened to put it all in one. So this is going to be a 3-part. If anybody wants to dispute anything, we're going to have a specific tab in my Discord, in the ACG Discord, with all of the screenshots, all of the videos, all of the audio, all of the evidence will be there. So it will not be public. Only people that we trust that would like to see the evidence or want to dispute it or talk about it, we can do that. But it's not going to be on the air, and it's going to be in the Discord. So hit us up. The other thing. So now that you gave me a second to kind of cleanse my palate here, my memory palate. So what happened was this. Things started to change where we went from being the number one family to them being the number one family and growing beyond where we were, right? So they're more powerful than us. They got more members, this and that, right? And that's when everything started to shift. That's when they realized they had the power, and so they were going to be the ones to set the rules in the server. And so it went from all of us being like happy in the game and outside of the game and all, as a team, to all of a sudden there's no server rule for hitting our inside of our zone, right? Because the family centers weren't up yet, and they just so happen to get their family center up. So they get their family center up and they come attack our people inside the family zone because, quote unquote, there wasn't a rule yet. Okay, we let that go. Okay, before too long, they're taking advantage of the power that they have, and they're destroying our family center outside of Kill Event just to do it. I mean, not just attacking it, but fully destroy the shit. So, this is going on in the game. What happens is this. We did a draft. We did the first ever draft, Godfather draft, where it was a 2-family server. And quite literally, I would say over 95% of the active players in that server participated in the draft, where we used a spin wheel to fairly distribute the power in the server. And it seemed to work at first for a day or two, but then we started to realize we kind of got screwed in it in the draft. And so we're wondering here, why is it that when you guys were behind, when Shiva and Frigg's family was behind on power, we decided to do the draft and they benefit, but then when the unbalance is gone again, there's no, hey guys, let's give you this player, hey, let's try and even it out. It's just, we're gonna take the power and run now. Right, yeah, they tried to give us the problem people and stuff like that. Like, we were like, hey, you guys want to give us a player? And they're like, yeah, you can take this guy, the guy that is causing them problems. So it's like, just spiteful little things, right? But what happened was, things were very, very, like you could feel the right, amongst all of us. And so we're like, let's just address this. But keep in mind, even previous to any of this stuff, again, I thought Shiva and I were very, very close. I mean, I regret fooling myself into thinking that they were my actual friends, that they actually cared at all about me or my fiance or the team or the channel or anything. They didn't give a shit. But here's where things start to go really sideways. So there's been a monumental amount of occasions where Doc, T-Rex, myself, Lethal, Frigg, whoever, we're all just talking on a podcast, right? It's because this is not just about the game. It's a podcast. So we're just talking. And so I say, hey, let's just do like an impromptu meeting where we can all talk about everything that's going on in the server and we'll just fix it. Well, I message Shiva. Shiva doesn't respond. Supposedly he's sick in bed and boo-hoo, whatever. And so he's not there for the meeting. But again, I'm thinking we're like brothers. We're tight. So like we can have this talk on the podcast like any other night. And then I'll message him or call him or send him a voice message after it ends and say, hey man, this is what we talked about. Do you want to talk about it? Because things are not going as planned. The minute that podcast ended, everything changed. Everything changed. our relationship in the game, outside of the game. He's personally attacking me and saying all of these things. Now, I might need Lethal's memory here because I'm starting to feel the emotions coming back and how absolutely angry I am still for the shit that they did and the shit that they said. What happened right after that podcast? It aired, he called, he was pissed.
Multiple people were sending like links or whatever around saying like, what the hell is going on? Basically, everybody was all pissed off.
Right, but what was going on? I can't remember, like, what were the chain of events exactly from, like, I know, because you were there.
So, I know that people were feeding down the line, I guess. Like, Frigg had told Brunhilde. Brunhilde got in contact with Shiva, and then Shiva finally was, like, popping on the live. Remember? He popped on in the middle of the live.
That's right. Yeah, so Shiva pops into the middle of the live.
Queen was on. And that was her first encounter with Shiva since they had their falling out because Shiva took her family away from her and wouldn't give it back. And then everybody else wanted to chime in on the situation, saying that, you know, we were saying this and saying that, but we were just explaining how we felt and how we viewed things, just like we normally always do. Which none of these people had issues when it was a different server.
Right.
And they wanted to air everything when it came down to doing the draft. They were so excited about it. They were so into it until they became in the family together, which none of us were introduced to each other. We were just forced to like know who each other was and work together. Like we didn't know who any of these people were. And Shiva also knew that we were having like issues with Frigg, but we were constantly just trying to work as a team to work through things.
So what do you remember what he said when he popped into the live that night?
He was like, "What's going on, guys? What's going on? I was just notified by everybody that you guys are trashing us and this and that." And we're like, "No, we're not.
Right.
We're literally
there
just discussing the chain of events, discussing how we feel. It's not to trash anybody. They just took it as how they saw it because they felt attacked, but we literally were just saying how we felt, that the vibe changed."
So he says he's being attacked and all of this stuff. And so I explained to Shiva, I pinged you so that you could be there for the podcast.
Which was all on a live stream, by the way.
Right. It was on a live stream. He was making it seem like we did a live stream, didn't tell him we were doing it, made the whole thing about him and how he did this and did that. Now, keep in mind, at the time that podcast aired, they had done nothing. So I know we're going back and forth a little bit on the time of events, but at that time period, they hadn't attacked our family center yet. They hadn't done anything really at all except continue to balance the server, which was the whole point of the podcast, the whole point of the episode of the draft, the whole point of it. I mean, you're talking about, like, I know most people don't give a shit about the amount of time that I spend of my life doing these podcasts, but do you really think I said, I got nothing else better to do in Smooth's life today? Let's take hours and hours out of my life to do a draft for no reason. What was the point of the draft? To balance a server if we weren't going to keep it balanced? Somebody please tell me this. Please, because I'm still till this day, months later, absolutely dumbfounded and bam, I can't process.
This was his idea.
The whole thing was his idea. The whole thing of balancing the server was his idea.
And doing it on a live stream.
The draft was kind of my idea, but balancing the server was his, right? Which was why I was like, cool, yeah, great, let's do this. This is a great idea. Never been done before. Epic, let's do this. But as soon as they got the taste of the power where they no longer had to worry about us, as soon as they know Roz could beat my force, everything changed. Everything changed. As soon as they knew Smooth, the sponsored streamer, was no longer the big guy in the server, it was done.
Because you weren't
so
your power.
Right, I wasn't abusing my power when I could have, but I didn't. That's not the player that I am. So, anyways, for him to come on and tell me that he felt attacked and we were doing all of this, saying all of this stuff about them that wasn't true, it's like I literally, bro, I cannot. I have this recording. I have it recorded. I will be putting it into the ACG Discord with the link. If for anybody that wants to refute this, I have the conversation recorded between us. I literally told him multiple times, Shiva, how can you possibly feel attacked if you didn't do anything?
I was there for this, by the way.
Multiple people were there for this conversation. He didn't have a real answer. He just kept saying that the whole episode was about him. He was so attacked. Keep in mind, the tide had shifted in the server, guys. We no longer had the power. They have the power. So now he has this in the back of his head when he comes into this call with me, and he's saying that he wanted a reason to get rid of us, is what it really came down to. Okay, he needed a reason to remove the sponsored player and his friends from the server, so that all the power remained within their family. Okay, so that was the real reason. But his fake reason, again, was that we were talking about him. And again, I clarified, you didn't do anything. Nobody in your family has done anything. The only thing you are guilty of, Shiva, is not continuing to distribute the power within the server so that is balanced. Doc, do you dispute any of the things that I've said so far? Anything you want to add from that time period?
I feel like there was a situation that was taken advantage of. I believe folks' kindness was taken for granted. I believe folks' trust was taken for granted. I believe, and I'm only speaking based off actions, okay? I'm not speaking on speculation. I'm not speaking on hearsay, she say. I'm speaking on true facts, all right? When they realized that they could outmaneuver you, meaning outdo you, the vibe changed. It became more of a, and I don't want to say bully, but it became more of a intense situation. You know, that friendly energy, that friendly vibe that was in the beginning, when we all started becoming in the happiest place on earth, that all changed, right? And then, after that, it's crazy though, because my thing in life is this. I'm not going to be mad at you if you're accountable for your actions. I'm going to respect you more for being accountable for your actions. And I think that people were a little upset because people were being called out upon their actions. So I don't disagree with nothing that's being said. That's my 2 cents to what's being said. I feel like, it touched certain nerves with certain people. And so instead of talking in a right way, they utilize the game to do their talking. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. Because at the end of the day, they were burning us for what? Because they were upset because we were talking about what?
Because we told the truth? Hold on a second. Because we told the truth?
Right. And we were defending what was said about us, though. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is what people don't understand. That's why I said it's more sides to this story than what you think. Okay, number one, I'm just not going to come on a podcast and just start talking UDI about people if it's not being done. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not gonna cause that rift. You feel me? Like, I'm not. You feel? My thing is this though. You can't go and start poking at the bear and think the bear is just going to sit there and eat their porridge like in Goldilocks. You understand? Mm-hmm. It don't work that way. You poke the bear. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. It's ironic because it was a lot of lashing on us and we took it like champs. But as soon as we countered, everything went south. And now we're the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, we were the bad guys.
I'm glad you said that. We were the bad guys. You know why? Because we allowed ourselves to be painted as the bad guys until we didn't. And what I mean by that is this. After that episode was aired, Frigg decided she was going to try and get us banned. She tried to get my sponsorship taken away. And Shiva. So a huge group of people from their side, basically everybody in their family, contacted the developers and asked that we have our sponsorship removed because of what we said, knowing damn well we did nothing but tell the truth about what they were doing, and they didn't like it. So now let's fast forward just a little bit. So what do we do in response? We say, okay, maybe we were wrong, which I regret taking that video down, and I will be going back and putting it back up, by the way. Well, I should have done that earlier. We were like, you know what? Maybe we can still make this work. Maybe we can solve this issue before it gets any more out of hand. So what do? I take the episode down and I make an apology video. Not only me, but my brother Doc here made an apology video not one time, but twice. And this and Rex, and this still wasn't good enough. This still wasn't good enough.
Let me say something on that. Let me intervene right now. Let me ask you guys a question. When you apologize to somebody, the person that you apologize to, do you allow them to dictate how you apologize to them? Let me sit on that question for a minute. Everybody answer that question for me that's in Chat Mafia. Because I'm putting you guys in a scenario that we were in because of that. Once again, something maybe people didn't know. Mm-hmm. Okay? But and that's facts though. We had to dictate how we said our apology though. I have never heard of that.
Right. And they really did.
I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just keeping it 100. I've never heard someone tell you how you have to apologize to them. Huh? That's like them trying to tell you how to beat them in a game. How does that work?
Yeah, if you're going to attack me, you're only allowed to use this type of capo and this force.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. I'm glad, again, you're bringing up some great talking points here, Doc.
She said, why apologize?
I want Lethal to give her side on this part because this is very, very entertaining. I'm glad you brought that up, Doc. The dictation on the apology video. Now, we were asked to do an apology video by Frigg and Shiva. Okay, again, this all revolves around Godfather moderator Frigg, right? Who's supposed to be, an upstanding citizen, an upstanding moderator, true to her word, not a two-faced POS, right? That's the type of person you're supposed to be as a moderator. That's not the kind of person she is. So I want Lethal to give her side of events. And again, we have screenshots to back all this up. What's up, 60? You want to ant? Welcome, my brother. Lethal, if you could just explain to them the conversation that was had about the apology video and what exactly did Frigg say when she saw, by the way, again, according to Frigg, Godfather was my only sponsor. According to Frigg, Godfather is the reason I have 1,700 subscribers. Godfather is the reason I have over 110,000 views on my channel. No, it's not.
And Godfather wasn't our first sponsor.
Godfather is our smallest sponsor, a sponsor that we really did not need, and to be honest with you, took up more time in my life than any of my other sponsors. But anyways, what was it that Frigg said to you when she saw that I didn't release the apology video yet and I was streaming other games? What did she say?
Well, hold on. First of all, this was in council chat when she decided to say that we had time to sit and plot and plan a 2-hour gap between the time that he got off work, aka stalker, thank you for stalking his schedule, to then not have time to, I don't know, make her a priority because she was the only one who has ever wanted an apology, because Shiva, by the way, said on our call, I'm not the one who wants the apology, it's the others. When he said the others, we damn well know that that is Frigg, because Frigg just cares about herself and what people think about her. Always. That's
Yep.
the only thing she cares about above anything else is how she looks. You know why? Because she likes to say stuff and then delete it immediately. And say stuff and then delete it immediately. Why? Because she doesn't want screenshots taken. So she feels better. I got it off my chest. I said it. Maybe
now let me
they saw
delete
it.
it.
Yeah, let me delete it so they don't have proof.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
Yeah.
let me say fuck you and let me say all this other stuff to people, especially in our Discord, by the way, which I have screenshots of. You don't curse at people for doing nothing to you. You tell them that they need to act accordingly and to please respect the rules and to please tone it down and to maybe just mute them and then, I don't know, come to me. But you didn't, because you weren't a moderator for our Discord. So that was number one. And then in our council chat, she states that why hasn't the apology video being issued yet? You have time to sit around and make there's a 2-hour gap, and then you guys don't do that, but you want to sit and talk crap about us. When that wasn't the case at all. Because we had slept. Because we do that because we're humans. We need sleep sometimes. So she was making an assumption that we were sitting around on private calls, which she uses that term all the time and did, that we were in private chats and private calls plotting and planning when we were sleeping, freaking sleeping.
So, in a sense here, guys, and I want to put this into perspective, this is the official Godfather moderator, okay? This is someone who is supposed to be making everybody in the Godfather community feel at home, welcome, having fun, and having the maximum good experience you could have for a game that most people spend a majority of their freaking life on, not to mention a good amount of their money. Okay? So this is the moderator, right? The one and only, the frig, right? She's supposed to be this amazing person, and she's here dictating to me.
And me.
Me, the guy who started this shit, the guy who took a dead fucking game, excuse my language, took a dead game and gave it life again. Took a game with, you went into general chat when I first joined that Discord. You know what you heard?
Nothing.
Hold on. This is what you seen. This is what you heard in that Discord before I showed up. Right here. Hold on, wait a minute. Listen for it. That's right. There was nothing going on. There was nothing going on. Nobody talked. Nobody posted videos. For all I knew, it was a cemetery when I showed up. And I said, I remember loving this game so much that I'm going to be the one to make something happen for this game. And I did. I did. I brought the game back life again. I brought new players to this game. I've got it out on threads and all over social media. I've made advertisement videos. I've put more hours into this game, into my channel, making content for this game and for the community than I have put into my own relationship. Okay? And you're the moderator of that game. You're dictating to me and the multiple people on my team and in my family that we have to make an apology video, and we need to be doing it now instead of whatever else I'm doing in my life, which could be important, right? This is the fucking moderator. Guys, what are we talking about here? The same moderator that tried to get the only good thing that was happening for Godfather banned. As a favor to me, and I'm going to push this. I'm going to push this so hard. If you can send me proof that you went in-game and sent a mail to Nadage, the name is Nadage, go to Godfather support. If you can send me a screenshot saying that you went to Nadage or in-game support and said you want Frig removed from moderator, you will not only be of the highest esteemed in my personal view, but I will consider you a friend for life and a supporter of this channel for life. Matter of fact, if you do this, and I see proof that you did do this on behalf of the channel, I got something special for you guys. I'm not going to say what it is, but I will make sure that you know that you are appreciated. So that's, and we're going to push this. I don't want anybody to think that this is going to go away. Okay? Because the same way she's been hounding us for an apology video and doing God knows what with her personal time, stalking my life, Lethal's life, my schedule, and trying to get us banned.
Removing us from channels and chats that are not even Discord related without even speaking.
Let me tell you something, baby girl. My ankle's messed up. I'm not at work right now, so I got nothing but time. And you poked the right bear. But let's segue back into this. Okay?
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me throw a little truth nugget out right quick. All right, I'm gonna throw a little truth bomb out for everybody. All right. So I want everybody to know this.
Quiet for so long.
I just want people to know this. Facts over fiction. Okay. You gotta understand, like, you know, people have a tendency of remembering things, especially when they're very important. And then other people have a tendency of forgetting things, what they say, when they think it's not important. Okay, let me explain something. There was a phone call one night out of the blue. And I remember this individual by the name of Shiva called this other individual by the name of Lethal. Okay? Now, Shiva and Lethal were conversating because you got to understand Lethal is the moderator of Discord. Okay? Like low key for ACG, like she does everything. Mm-hmm. So somebody wanted someone to help them get associated with it. You know, put him as an admin or something for his family. But I can assure you right now, he does not remember the lines that I told Smooth and Lethal was the day that we knew he was going to cross us. Mm-hmm. If you F me, I'll F you. If you don't F me, I won't F you.
He did say
yeah,
that.
Shiva did say that. He slipped up.
Okay.
He slipped up. He was drunk and he said that.
Okay, so let me say what I'm saying and the reason why I'm saying that. Why would you say it when you're asking someone to help you get something taken care of in Discord? And then it's crazy though, because after that little saying there, if you want to call it a chess play, or you want to call it a pawn, or you want to call it bait, however you want to call it, everything started to go downhill. And if you weren't paying attention, it's going to go right over your head. Because right after that, stuff started getting crazy in Discord. After that, people started thinking they had power over other people. And then after that, you started seeing a big shift. And then after that, you started seeing people just do whatever they felt like doing. So the question I have is, were you really trying to F us from the jump and you were just playing like friendly to get in board to get what you need? Or were you being really serious and did what you did? Because if you did, I applaud you. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, it took a lot of effort, as we can see based on this conversation. But the question I have is, what did you get out of that? Right? What did you get out of you? What did you get out of you putting a whole plan together for a server that could have been a powerful server with the players that were on it? You understand?
Right.
Like for real. And then coming up with the vision and having it established and making it work. But then, once again, after that saying, everything went downhill from there. So I want people to know sometimes you speak things into existence without even you realizing it. Understand, words are powerful. Yep. And you may have been intoxicated. You may have been whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's none of my business. It's none of my business. But what is my business is if you speak it into existence, don't be shocked if the universe shows you what you want. Let me say that again. If you speak it into existence, don't be shocked if the universe gives you what you want. because there's going to be repercussions. And that's not in a negative way. That only means that people are ahead of your game. Facts.
I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. And here's the thing. What my boy Doc just said should resonate with a lot of you guys. Because I know a lot of you guys have played with us. And you know our character. You know who we are. 100 episodes in, if you watch this show, even 10 episodes, you know our character. That's not who we are. We stand on what we believe in. And we have been silenced by both Shiva and mainly Frigg for too long. And so now all of it is coming out. Okay? Around this time period, I started to notice something. I started to notice that what I thought we had as a team with Frigg and Shiva was all just a facade. Their overall goal was not to make good content with us. Their overall goal was to use my platform as a way to boost their reputation because it's all they cared about. Now, they were making a huge deal about the episode, so we removed it, right? But after that point, after we took down the video, we were still being told that we needed to make these apology videos. Now, we touched base on the apology videos thing and what was said about why we hadn't made the apology video. So we ended up making not one, but 2 apology videos. This is where things start to take a turn for the absolute worst. There's a conversation that was had between Shiva and I, where, and this is, I can't remember, the conversation where he said that he was recording me.
Yeah.
Was that before or after Frigg had said what she said to you?
I don't actually remember if it was before or after. I'd have to go look.
I want to say,
I think it might have.
I removed her from the ACG team. I fired her and removed her from the Discord after she said what she said to you, no?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It was after that. Because her and Shiva had abused their powers basically as quote unquote moderators of ACG, but they were never given moderator of ACG. They were just given podcast roles. I never told anybody there's not one moderator in our Discord until as of recently, which is none of the podcast team, because I don't want podcast team being moderators when they're on the podcast. It's too much. So they had cursed out some people, this and that, and I told you about it. We let it slide. We were like, whatever.
Who cursed out who?
Shiva and Frigg cursed out members in our ACG because they didn't like what was being said. They were brand new people. We didn't even know
Pause.
them.
I want you guys to replay what she just said. The moderator of Godfather was cussing out players in another person's Discord because they didn't like what was being said on the podcast.
Not on the podcast.
In general,
ACG
whatever.
chat,
They
ACG chat.
didn't like what they were seeing.
Yes.
Okay? In what world does this happen? In what world? Right? This is a person who banned me today. I was banned, by the way, guys. Surprise! I was banned from the Godfather Discord
For speaking.
by Frigg for speaking my mind. I didn't cuss at her. I didn't say anything out the way. I didn't say anything derogatory. Nothing at all. And she removed me permanently, banned me, so that I couldn't tell my truth, which is part of the reason why I'm here today, talking to you all. So keep this in mind, okay? And we have all of the screenshots to back this up as well. Continue, Lethal.
Okay, so they were going off on a tangent, which they weren't even in the chat to begin with. They were not talking at all. They just decided to jump into chat to tell people to shut the fuck up. That's literally what they said. Mainly Frigg. Frigg said that more than once.
She said what? Hold on. What did Frigg say?
She told one of our members to shut the fuck up. She said, I swear to God, if you don't shut the fuck up. And then said something else, and then said something about being an asshole. Like, I have screenshots of it. So then they decide, this was all of like a couple of minutes, because we had gotten like 30 people that had just joined, and chats were going crazy and I couldn't keep up with anything. We don't have moderators. Nobody else was on to help me. And so I'm trying to lock chats and slow mode everything. And like, we're new Discord people. It's not like we just know everything. So I've been self-teaching myself how to do this, how to set things up, how to contain things, how to make things safe. Anyways, I go into chat because Frigg has now screenshot things and sent it into the podcast chat, going off about these people and blah blah this and blah blah that. And I'm like, 1 second, like, I just need a minute to deal with stuff. Then all of a sudden I get into chat and I'm like, guys, calm down. And Shiva and her then decide to tag team me and say, so this is what ACG stands for? If you want this, then you don't want me, is what Shiva said. I never said that. You didn't even give me a chance to say anything except, hey guys, calm it down. Don't make me remove you. I literally said, do not make me kick you. Like, everybody needs to chill out.
So again, not to cut you off, but so again, this is two people who are trying to dictate everything that we are doing, from inside the game to outside the game to the channel to the content.
To our Discord.
To our Discord, everything. Okay? Because they know that at this point, they are attempting to get us banned, demonetized, get our sponsorship taken away, cause hell for us to the point in the game where they've destroyed our family, they destroyed our family center, they've made Queen quit. Okay? Like, please tell me in what world the official moderator for any game bullies a female player into quitting the game that they moderate. Anybody? Question? You in the back. Anybody? No? That's right. Because it's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen. Your job is to make every single player feel welcomed and just hope that they're having the greatest time playing that game. That is your only job. And you can't even do that. You had one job, Frigg. You had one job as moderator. You failed, my friend. You didn't just fail. You put a stain on a game that many of us have loved for almost 10 years. Can you answer Xena, please, before she has a conniption? Guys, we've talked about a lot tonight, but I hate to say it, we're not even we're not even a quarter of the way through.
We didn't even get to the whole council chat.
We have
Greg went off on me.
We have so much to get into. All the juicy stuff is going to be in the next episode, guys. I'm sorry, I can't put all of this into one episode. There's too much to talk about. But before we do start departing, I want Doc to get some things off of his chest. Anything that you've got built up, brother, lay it out on the table before we get out of here for the night, because tomorrow the juiciness is going to be all over the place.
I'll tell you right now, honestly, I just feel like how this all went down felt like a slap in our face. And I feel like it's crazy because we did what y'all asked of us to do, and it seemed like it wasn't right. Like, it had to be critiqued. It had to be, finalized, like an essay is finalized before turning in, to your teacher. You know what I mean? And like, just the little bickerings and stuff. And yeah, I know I said some things and everything, but at the end of the day, like, y'all went against the script. Like, y'all went against the plan. Like, y'all went against the vision of what the zone was supposed to be. I don't know who or what sparked and went and wanted to change the direction. I don't know what was said, but like, it just turned. You know what I mean? And then you got people coming into the server like you wouldn't think coming in because like you thought they were done. And then you got information being held, but we're supposed to be a big community and we're supposed to talk and we're supposed to be trustworthy and all of that. And then all of a sudden it felt like we were segregated. It didn't feel like a podcast family. You know what I'm saying? It felt like we were segregated. It felt like there was two pockets, there were two teams, and like it was wild. And the only reason why I didn't intervene or I didn't say anything, because the show must go on. So I wanted to just keep pushing. You know what I mean? And you know, like I told Smooth, I was like, it's wild how this is all, how we started trusting individuals with what me and you started day one, right? I didn't start ACG. Let me get that clear with everybody. But I was there day one with this Godfather podcast. So one, nobody's removing me from this seat. I'm just going to put that out there right now. Okay. Number two, if you felt like you were going to remove me or you felt like you wanted to take my seat, I'd rather you be gentleman or woman enough to have a conversation with me so I can at least tell you no in your face than you doing some crazy stuff behind closed doors. You understand? And then it's funny because I'm not going to go into detail because the heavy details are going to get everybody excited and that'll be for the next episode. But like nobody still has an outreach. Nobody says anything. Like y'all feel like we owe you something. You know what I mean? Like we gave you everything that y'all asked for. Personally, me, all I ask is somebody to come and say hi. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But don't come on another zone where I used to play at and tell me, hey, have you apologized to everybody? Because everybody feels like you didn't apologize to them. First off, woman, moderator of Godfather, I ain't got to apologize to anybody if I don't need to apologize to anybody. And then number two, I said my apologies to everybody. If you weren't in the game and not read the transcripts like you should be reading, then that's your bad, right? And so I'm saying it to say, I get it. You're the moderator of Godfather. I get it. You've been playing this game for a long time. I get it. But you got to get off your high horse. You got to come back down to reality because all of us are human beings. At the end of the day, everybody makes mistakes. And let's just keep it 100. Y'all made a mistake. That's it. That's all. You guys were cornered in. You understand? You were cornered in. And anybody that know boxing knows when a boxer's cornered in, what do? They fight back. So that's what y'all were doing. I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad at the fact that you're not accountable for what you guys did, though. You understand? And then making it seem like we were the bad people, like talking behind our backs versus just coming to us and telling me that I'm an a-hole or telling me Roger woo-woo, you know what I'm saying? But don't. And it's funny, though, but how y'all did it. Y'all thought y'all were slick with it. And then get sarcastic with it. And then when that same energy is met with you, you guys buckle down like little kids and little bullies who get checked at the schoolyard. Facts. Want to know why I know this? Because all of a sudden, certain people want to do what we're doing right now. Facts. I'm not going to go into details. I'm going to say that for real. But that's how it felt. Like, that's how it felt. It felt like somebody got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. And I felt like they were defending something that didn't need to be defended because we called you out on your stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, let's just keep it 100. What's the real reason why y'all mad at us? I still don't know why. I really don't know why, but
it's because they thought that they could keep us in a box. They thought that they could keep our mouth shut. They thought that they had enough power between Frigg being a moderator for the game and them, being stronger than us. They thought that they could keep our mouths shut about everything that they were doing. And when they started to realize that we weren't going to hold our tongues any longer, now, like you said, their hands in the cookie jar and everybody knows it. Speaking of which, tomorrow's episode, we're going to pick up right where we left off, but we're going to open it up once we get about 15, 20 people or whatever. We're going to play that audio, the conversation between Shiva and I, and it's going to completely blow your guys' minds. The amount of stupidity in one conversation, the amount of narcissism, two-faced idiocracy that is in one phone call. And it is a decently long phone call, so bring your popcorn and your drinks and whatever you got to get from the kitchen before the show starts, because we have more to talk about. We're going to break out some of the evidence, some of the screenshots, not all of them. We have to make sure that, there's nothing in the policy that they could get us for. So we'll be making sure that we do our due diligence and make sure things are blurred out and, real names are not mentioned and all of that good stuff. But trust me, we did our homework tonight. We know we're not bannable. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's live stream. It was a complete pleasure, and I could honestly say a weight lifted off my shoulders to be able to do this.
To stand up for yourself?
He said, right, yeah, being able to stand up for myself and not be silenced by the official moderator. But again, guys, if you guys go to support in game, send that message, try to get a hold of Nadage, just request to speak to Nadage, let them know about how Frigg needs to be completely removed from moderator. She's bullying people, she's cussing out players, she's making players quit, all that good shit. And if they need the screenshots and the evidence, tell them the guy who was bringing life back into the game, the guy who was sponsored by you guys, was removed permanently I was banned by Frigg for no reason, was not violating anything to be banned. And not only that, Headshot said he did. He already sent the message. Headshot! I love you, Headshot.
So listen. Let me throw this out there. I know you're excited. You want to get off this air because we're running over time. But what I was going to say was, it's funny how you ban one person that has not been on the chat for a minute, but you got people still in that chat disrespecting people, though. Now, let me leave that right there with y'all right there, though. I'm just going to leave that right there. While I sip my tea and roll and just think about life. Because here's the thing, it's ironic, and I'm gonna leave this with y'all, and we can finish this up on another conversation. If you're a moderator of Godfather, why are you deleting your messages only in a chat that's for the mafia community?
Right.
Let me say that again. Let me say that again for everybody who didn't hear what I just said. If you're a moderator of Godfather chat and you're deleting your messages, what are you hiding? And why did you ban the truth? Let's leave that right there for you, chat mafia, because facts is facts. Because here at the end of the day, yeah, Smooth keeps saying that he started this, and if it wasn't for the podcast, we wouldn't have gamers and everything. He's absolutely right. If you go back 114 episodes, because you're not going to find the 114 or the 0 for any other podcast on a YouTube channel, exactly what we've been doing, then you'll be like, dang, Smooth, Doc, you guys got a point. Why? Why is that? Right? And then all of a sudden you do it, and then you try to get nice with a moderator, and then the moderator goes, you know what? I see an opportunity. Sorry, game recognizes game. Okay? Streets recognize streets. And you ain't got to be from the streets. You could be cyber genius for real and be that person. But the thing is that when you meet your match and you don't know how to overcome that match, and it's not a negative thing, and you go about it the wrong way, look what happens. It's called a domino effect. And now you're reacting because, number one, people are seeing what's going on. You understand? Number two, we're starting to see people flip-flop for real. Flip-flop. Light switch. right? And then now you're seeing people kind of like negating what was said by deleting messages so they won't get caught as a moderator.
Yep.
I understand if you weren't a moderator. I get it. If you weren't a moderator, I totally understand that you delete your messages because you're not a moderator, because you don't want the moderator to see, right? But the moderators delete their own messages for us not to see. That's strange. That's strange. How is that possible? So how are we supposed to get our ideas out? So you ban a podcast guy who literally is opening a platform for the gaming community, and you ban him because why? But you're deleting your messages though. Make that make sense for me. For real. And
the only people that delete shit got something to hide.
So make that make sense. And then there's been a couple conversations that I've seen before you delete the messages. And I'm still sitting here thinking, why delete it? If you're bold enough to say what you say, stand on what you say. It doesn't matter if it's going to be hurtful to somebody or nothing. If you're going to say what you're going to say, stand on what you say and mean what you say. Because if not, your word ain't jacked.
Yep.
And I'm going to leave y'all at that. Salute.
Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Again, tomorrow we'll be opening up the episode with the conversation between Shiva and I. And you guys are just not gonna believe the words that were coming out of this man's mouth. Like, to be honest with you, till this day, I'm still flabbergasted at the idiocracy. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to hit that like button. It's gonna let YouTube and everybody else know that you enjoy our content. Don't forget to hit that subscribe if you haven't already. I love seeing all these new people in here. Shout out to Queen. Shout out to Luca. Shout out to Headshot. Shout out to Xena. Shout out to St. Jones, Ghost, everybody that showed up tonight. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. We'll be back tomorrow. Dragon Bane, thank you so much. Who else do we have in here? We got 61 Ant. We got a lot of people in here.
Shout out Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool. You guys are amazing. We love you all. And until next time, y'all. I've been waiting to do this. But I just want to say, no matter how you feel about me or us or I will always have love for you, Sterling.
Capo. Who's that?
Sterling, this was for you. Roll Tide.
We got another new one.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, I'm all the way up. Yo, you know my messenger. Yo, Capo, what's up? Living home in a trailer,